We are expecting her to start that third day on the witness stand at 9:30 a.m. this morning. It was a bit of a tough day for her yesterday as she was probed quite extensively on a number of concessions that raise credibility concerns, not only for the cases that IDAC is currently pursuing, but also in terms of her application of the law, or at least her understanding of the law when applying the Section 27 to the referral, or rather the cases that engage IDAC's jurisdiction. But there's layers to the evidence that she has to get to. Although there's been a prominent focus on the Brigadier Mukwele case, the real intention is to get to the motive behind the actions of IDAC and its head, Advocate Andrea Johnson, because at the very least we know that there was no factual basis or legal basis that triggered their intervention in terms of that particular case, let alone their jurisdiction as IDAC. And now it's about establishing what the possible motive could have been. We know that she rejects the suggestion that she could have been fearful of the Minister of Police, Senzo Mchunu. If that is not the reason behind this particular conduct, where you see IDAC, essentially the evidence pointed to them pursuing a case where there is actually no legal basis to pursue that case. And now the Commission has to get to the bottom of what the possible motivation behind that is. Of course, there's a number of allegations swirling about why this particular case is of interest to IDAC, but the answers could lie in her previous conduct that the Commission may need to explore further. However, how they do that remains a challenge, because she has invoked the right against self-incrimination with respect to the allegations made by Witness O that raise questions of impropriety with respect to her conduct and the alleged proximity with Major General Faraz Khan. If you look at that particular past conduct and history, and you look at what is playing out with IDAC right now, particularly its presence within the Crime Intelligence Division, or rather its interest there, and why it's pursuing those particular matters, certainly the two issues need to be explored in quite great detail to explore if any of those layers meet, to give an understanding as to what could have possibly motivated that case. We are yet to even get to the allegations of Witness O, as the Commission is still trying to establish how IDAC was able to, not one, pursue a matter that had no legal basis, but on top of that, upon learning that the actual complaint was about the possible interception of dockets, how did they jump from that issue to then getting to cases or authorizing cases where it is a fraud and corruption case relating to the appointments of Brigadier Mukwele, an external applicant in that particular process, and it leads them to charging high-ranking officers within the Crime Intelligence Division, including its boss, Lieutenant General Kumalo, on a case that is directly reliant on a Section 27 referral affidavit that did not meet the requirements of Section 27. And on top of that, it had no grounds to back up the suspicions that Fadil Adams made on that complaint. It paints a very worrying picture of a particular unit that will use, or rather use a complaint to run a parallel investigation in order to allegedly target certain individuals. And if that indeed is the case, then of course that is something that is going to be of great concern to the Commission as it explores how IDAC actually ended up with a fraud and corruption case from something that was merely a referral about interception of dockets. We'll find out if she does indeed take the stand and continues with that testimony at 9:30 a.m.